Good evening. Welcome to the Board of Selectmen's meeting on March 3rd, 2025. We'll call the meeting to order at 6 o'clock. Can I get the roll call, please, Beth?
Select Chair, Mr. Coy.
Here?
Select Vice Chair, Mr. Gifford.
Here.
Selectman, Mr. DeRoche.
Here.
Selectwoman, Ms. Costa. Here. And Selectman, Mr. Britton.
For the last time, yes.
And please note for the record, we have Town Manager, Mr. Colby, with us.
All right, if we can stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. And Carol, you want to lead us?
I would be pleasure. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, first up, we'll have public comment. If anyone has anything, the only thing I want to say for public comment tonight is no, electioneering, no vote for this, vote for that.
Can I just ask, I just got one order of business here, and I want to read, so it's literally going to be 3 minutes.
Do you mind switching, Ryan?
I don't care.
Thank you, Ryan, I appreciate it. Okay. Yeah, we're adding Derek to the agenda tonight in regards to the junior firefighters and election day, correct?
Yep. So basically, we're having a bake sale on Election Day and as a way to raise funds for the junior fire department. As you know, the junior fire department is nonprofit. No taxpayer dollars are required or utilized for anything with the junior fire department. And the only way we make our money is through donations or through fundraising. With that said, we're having a bake sale the day of elections. We'll be there from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. So what I'm here for is to ask for a waiver on the $50 fee for the bake sale, so we don't have to pull a permit for that, if that's okay with the Board of Selectmen.
The only question I would have is, have you talked to the health inspector?
I have. Yep, and he's the one who told me to come to you guys, and everything's going to be vetted through him. We have all the paperwork that we need for the parents if they're baking things, and through the permit through Pat. So he said I have to go through the Board of Selectmen to get a waiver. Here I am.
As long as we've been through the health inspector,
Yep.
that's fine. Questions?
Nope.
I'll make a motion, we give him the waiver.
And I will second that motion.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Have a great night.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now you can have public comment. Thank you.
All right.
Hey, please make sure that they bring brownies.
It's already on the top of the list.
All right.
Not Twinkies?
Some of you guys are nuts, so.
Ouch.
You know I appreciate you.
All right. Thanks for accommodating, Ryan. I appreciate it.
No problem. Ryan Lebrecq, 174 Main Street. Good evening. Pertaining to last week's meeting, I offer the following. In reviewing previous board content regarding the RFP for assessing and this board's vote to move forward with the only proposal received, I find it unfortunate that there were no substantive questions asked by the board regarding the sole company interested. This contract includes a person or multiple people potentially sitting in town hall a few days a week. I may be wrong, but it does not seem that the board requested resumes for these individuals, did not bring the company in to discuss their proposal, and it does not appear that the town attempted in any way to negotiate with the company to work the rates down in a manner to be efficient for the taxpayers. These are all simple things that should be done when contracting any service. Regarding the Timberlane School Superintendent and Business Admin's presentation, while I acknowledge that this board is focused on issues pertaining to the town operations, it's crazy to me that the board did not ask any questions of the Timberlane representatives. The Timberlane School District has put forth unrealistic budgets that resulted in $16 million in overtaxation in 2024, projected $15 million in 2025 overtaxation yet again. You are our representatives. And my expectation is that you question their budgeting practices and insist upon both a fiscally reasonable and responsible budget to ensure a smaller impact on Plastow residents' property taxes. With that said, I would like to thank Mr. Colby for correctly questioning the Timberlane reps regarding their ridiculous assertion that higher valuations are the cause of higher taxation. I appreciate that you set the record straight with them, although I don't believe that they truly understood even after you eloquently explained that to them. I'm trying to comply with your request, your last minute request, that is. In regards to prime wetlands and zoning, I ask that the residents of the town stop the town from continuing to steal our property rights. They will steal yours next if you allow them to assign prime wetlands involuntarily to people's individual properties. I believe that the town and the school needs to efficiently use our taxpayer dollars, and I don't believe they're currently doing that. I think we have death by 1,000 cuts in many locations within our budgets, and I also believe that this board consistently votes yes on everything, and we need an alternative opinion, an alternative voice, an alternative perspective, and we need to demand that things are not handled in the shadows. They're talked about openly and questioned openly in this meeting, which is, in my opinion, the intent of this, and that the public's opinion is taken into consideration, and the board doesn't show up preemptively with how they're voting in mind before every issue. The public's voice should be heard. Public comment should be taken seriously. Public hearings should be taken seriously. And when you have an overwhelming majority of people in the room that are for or against something, this board should vote accordingly as our representatives. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ryan. Thank you. Have a good night. And I'm assuming there isn't anyone else, so we'll move to our agenda items. First up, it's the town report dedication. And before you get started, I just want to thank you for all your hard work to put this all together.
Absolutely.
I know you've been doing it for a while. I mean, it's not easy, especially corralling, folks to, submit everything and,
Just get a bigger whip every year. That's all I do.
yeah. But no, it's much appreciated. Thank you.
Well, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Dee Voss, and I do a number of things here. But the thing that I have the most fun with is I get to edit and prepare and put together the annual report every year. With the support of the Board of Selectmen, our departments and committees, the Town Report Committee couldn't do it without everybody putting their part in to make this product, and we're really proud of it this year. This is Emily Blair, who has been assisting me with it this year, learning the ropes. And you're probably wondering, no, well, you know already. Sometimes we try to keep it a secret and try to surprise the person that is being dedicated to, but clearly that sadly wasn't going to be the option this year. So this year's town report is being dedicated to Rita Sampson, who would not let me do this while she was alive. I wouldn't have gotten away with this anyway. I got to know Rita, lovely, lovely person. And there's 3 things that I know for 100% certain for Rita. She loved to garden, she loved this town, and she loved her family so much. And I'm getting emotional. So I am honored to be able to dedicate this year's town report. Oh, I got it upside down. I knew that was going to happen. To Rita Sampson. come up and accept on behalf from the family? Come on. We're going to get a picture with everybody together afterwards, so somebody's got to get it. Come take it from me now.
I'm the youngest of Rita's kids. I'm Diane. Nice to meet you.
So why don't you come back here, get that, and then we'll get the whole family in the
So
photo,
I'm gonna call,
whether they like it or not.
I'm gonna call them up anyway.
There you go.
So my sister, and then I have two older brothers, and then my sister-in-law, my brother-in-law, and my husband are here.
You guys take the plaque. We're going to step into the shadows.
You want to back up? Hey, do you guys want to bring them up here and we'll back out?
We'll get the selectmen to stand behind you.
How you doing? Good.
Oh, wait.
Congratulations. You deserved it.
Yeah, perfect. Oh, you're going to get behind them? No? Okay.
It's their day. Flags are behind them.
Okay. Okay, we'll start with just you guys and then we'll bring in the selectmen.
Pretend like you know each other, so get too close. And we want to
Okay.
see everybody's faces.
All right. There we go.
Excellent.
And then Board of Selectmen.
Yeah, this is. It's oh my gosh. She's probably screaming at me from heaven. I know. I'm running.
Daryl, you want to move in? Move in? There we go. All right. Everyone right over here. I'm going to do a couple of shots. And I'm going to do one more.
You're on the Wall Street Journal, come on.
Thank you very much.
So I have one more quick thing, so the Board of Selectmen can get back on with their agenda. This is going to be my last town report, so I was so excited I got to do this for Rita and for the family, because I'm retiring at the end of this year.
That's a lie.
I'm retiring. So I wanted to officially pass the torch to Emily.
Amazing.
It lights up in there.
Oh my God.
Then you can use this to wrap it with.
And I don't know if anybody wanted to, yeah, I don't know if anybody wanted to say anything about Rita, but I'll tell you, from getting to know her, you always knew where you stood. Always willing to help, but she'd let you know what she thought about everything.
Thank you.
She was a great lady.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I loved her donuts.
Thank you. Have a good night.
See ya.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Hope we did her justice.
And she was one, she'd let you know where you stood too.
Oh, yeah. No gray in our area.
No, if she felt the way, you knew it.
You can turn them over now.
Indeed, where will the town reports be if anybody wants to pick them up?
Oh, we're going to have, we're going to get some copies over the library. We'll get some over to the PD, over to the annex. They'll be available in the town hall lobby.
Oh, at the Norm Major Building, right?
At the Norm Major Building, yes, 14 ounce.
Thank you.
Take care.
We'll have them available at
Good
town
night,
hall.
Tommy.
It will be available online, and there will be copies available at the polls.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
You know, it should have been a real torch, though.
I thought of it last minute, but I went, I gotta do something. Thank you, we appreciate that.
All right, and
Thank you again.
next up, we'll have Bob Haba, our town moderator, to discuss the election, which It's what, only a week away?
Yes, sir. Week and a day. Hi, I'm Bob Harvey, Town Moderator. Thank you for having me here tonight. There are some new things that we want to talk about very briefly about the upcoming election, but it is March 11th, Plasto Fish and Game from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., different than our state election, 7 to 7. Tomorrow, if you have nothing to do and you'd like to watch us test the ballot machines, we are testing them tomorrow at 2 p.m. here at Town Hall. So we always welcome the public to come and watch us test the machines for their accuracy. So that's tomorrow at 2. I'll give you forewarning. I'm told there's 6 pages front and back to this election ballot. That includes the Timberlane School District ballot, the town ballot for all the officers, and then all the warrant articles. So I know many of you will, but I suggest that you go online, you look at the warrant, you look at the voter's guide, and you might want to prepare yourself, or otherwise you'll be sitting there for quite a long time reading everything for 6 pages. This year, the new law says that you need to make sure you bring your photo identification with you to get your ballot. If you can't be identified by the checklist personnel, by myself, or assistant moderator, the clerk, or the assistant clerk, and you don't have your ID, no longer will you be able to sign a challenge voter affidavit that basically says you are who you say you are. So you make sure you please bring your photo ID. We haven't really had that an issue in Plasto. Maybe 1 or 2 might forget their IDs. And the checklist, supervisors of the checklist also wanted me to remind people that there's been a change of law about voter registration the day of the election. You must remember to bring identification, proof of citizenship, something to prove your age, and your domicile. Some of those things, if you don't have, you will not be allowed to vote. You cannot provide, if you cannot provide documents to verify your identification, citizenship, or age, you can't register that day to vote. We don't have a lot of registrations on town election. We had, as you know, quite a few at the last election, but I'm told we won't expect too many. But please remember, you can go online to the Secretary of State elections, and pull out the chart, what you need to bring to register to vote that day. You already heard about the bake sale. The bake sale items will be available on your way out when you leave after you cast your ballot. So if you're wondering where they are when you come in, the junior firefighters, that's where they'll be selling their baked goods. And I believe that covers everything that I need to say. We're expecting a decent turnout. As you might know, normally we have around 1,200 people come. All 3 machines will be active. We have 3 voting machines in town. We're going to make them all active because of the number of ballots, so that our voters won't have to stand in line too long, because it takes a while to feed 6 ballots through the machine. So we're looking for a good day. I'm advised that the board has told me you'll guarantee we won't have snow next week. I don't know, that's what I heard.
We put the order in.
Put the order in.
If we could
Sunny
guarantee
weather,
you that-
50s, 55, 60,
That's what the
whatever.
order is.
I do believe the police will probably have that same chart out, turn right when you leave and not turn left. And that seemed to work out a little bit to help us out. We still will have the detail there, the police detail as you come in and in the building itself. If you have any questions, I'm here to answer. Yes.
Bob, do you have enough people to count at the end of the night?
We can
Count
always
ballots.
use people to count, especially this time, because if my math's correct and it's 6 pages and we get 1,000 people, that's 6,000 ballots. We actually have to, at the end of the day, count 6,000. So as long as you're a citizen, you're over 18, if you want to come at the end of the night, we will probably start counting I'd say about 7:15. You got to give us time to run the machines down and everything. And the more people we have, the quicker it'll be to count.
Yeah, because they have to be separated too, right?
There'll be 3 different stacks. And there's 3 different colors. I think the yellow is the school. Ours is like a salmon. And then the warrant articles are different. So we segregate them because if we do have a recount, we need to go to the right boxes that are all sealed up for a recount. So the schools will be in one box. Our officials, which is usually about 2 pages, will go in another box. And then the warrant articles go in a third box. So thank you for asking the question. We're always looking for help. And if you can come at about 7:15, the more of you, the less time it'll take for us to count 6,000-7,000 ballots.
And I'm sure the inside will be set up just like it was at the last
The
election.
same coming in. We're going to have 3 tables this time instead of 4. And I want to thank the supervisor of the checklist for those big signs they put over the table so you'll know where to go. But we're dividing the alphabet up, not specifically 1/3 of the alphabet, but by the number of registered voters that voted in those letters so that it'll equal it out. So you'll have 3 places to go. We're going to have the regular lineup, how you come in and segregate. And then you go into the main room to vote. You cast your ballot as you're leaving when you take a left. Then you go out the door on the left and you can buy some baked goods. I guess brownies is a favorite.
Usually it's Twinkies with Daryl.
Oh, nobody took them last year. I'm insulted. It's okay.
Do you have enough people to do the check-ins as well? Like, do you have a good group of volunteers that are there, or do you need more
We've
people?
filled, we have a sufficient number of ballot clerks to work the tables
Okay.
for what we're expecting. And if anyone is interested in getting on the list and maybe participating as a ballot clerk, we take down names. We took some names last time, and those 2 people helped us this last election. So if you're interested, just let us know as you're leaving.
Well, we turn the clocks this weekend, right?
Mhm.
So it should be lighter later, right?
Yes.
So that
Darker
helps.
earlier, though.
Well, that helps, especially if you're outside holding a sign or something.
There will be the usual corral out there too for anyone that wants to be holding the signs, and I'll be posting our usual electioneering information online. Hasn't changed.
And I'm sure that'll be the same spot it's been the last.
Same spot, same rules.
Is there anything you need us to put on like the message board out front, or to send out an email blast from the town?
I think if you remind the people it's from 7 to 7, and then you can remind them it's the fishing game. I haven't had anyone recently ask me or tell me they went to Pollard School to vote. So we've been moving around long enough that I think they know where to find us, but it wouldn't hurt.
We had, 4 elections last year, right?
And this is our only election this year.
Beth, do we already have that on the sign, election day, 7 to 7?
Yeah, I'm not sure if the time is up there, but the date and the
Place.
location.
Yeah, if we can just add 7 to 7, that'd be perfect.
Great. Looking forward to it. It should be a good day.
Yeah, we'll
No,
spend
we're going
the
to see
full
you
day
tomorrow
together.
too, right?
Tomorrow at 2 p.m. when I'm
No, but we have at the library.
Tomorrow evening.
tomorrow evening at the library, yes. I'm very fortunate to be asked again to moderate the candidates night at the town library. I believe it's at 6.
I believe it's 6.
Yeah, it might be go at 5:30, meet and greet, and it starts at 6.
6:30 is the meet and greet, and then 6:30 starts.
6:30, 6 is meet and greet, 6:30 starts. They have quite a few. They gave me a list of all the people that said they're coming. So as usual for our town, we're going to divide into 2 groups because there's so many people and too many to all do them all at once. So they'll be divided into 2 groups.
Good.
Perfect.
Is that up on the message board as well?
I don't know, I can-
Candidates night? No.
And could we ask the town clerk to send out, if the people in New in town are posted somewhere, what the actual requirements are to register to vote on the day? I know you said it, but, maybe something in
I
writing.
think on social media, it was put out there. I
Okay.
know the supervisor of the checklist put it out there on social media.
Yeah, I think Elizabeth did, but even, people who may not be avid Facebook
Martha may be able to put a link to the Secretary of State
Okay.
election,
Yeah.
because they're quite extensive, what you got to do. And it wouldn't want to make a mistake typing it. So I think a link to
A
the
link
Secretary of
would be
State
great.
Yeah.
would be good, so
Wouldn't
people
be
will
as
get it.
lengthy- Wouldn't be as lengthy either.
Correct. Just one click.
Yeah, exactly. Anybody, any questions?
Well, thank you very much. And
Thank you, Bob.
I'll
Thanks,
see you
Bob.
tomorrow.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Take care.
Thanks, Bob. All right. Next on the agenda is an MOU for discussion on the Plastow Police Association and Teamsters Local 633.
Yes.
What do we got, Greg?
With the Plastow overseeing the ALS Intercept program, as part of that, the calls for the program are planned to be dispatched through our center here. So as part of that, and within the budget that the chief had set up, he had included for the additional work, because it is over and above the contract that was approved last time, an additional stipend to be paid on a quarterly basis to each dispatcher, each full-time, and then prorated for each part-time dispatcher. So where this is the new program, not included in the CBA, and again, this is at no cost to the town. This will be paid for by the ALS program itself.
That was going to be the question.
This, as well as all the roll-up costs associated with it, will be charged back on a quarterly basis to the program. But it's in recognition that there will be, an increase in the volume of calls. I don't think that it's, unmanageable at all, but it will be an increase over and above, so.
And this will be coming out of the separate account,
Yes,
but it needs to be put in the MOU.
yes. So yeah, we're modifying the union agreement basically through the MOU.
Is there any additional training needed for dispatch for dispatching ALS calls?
No.
No. Okay. And do we have an idea on what the anticipated call volume? I know it's based on previous history with the program. Do we have an idea on what the number of calls might be?
I know previously they were in the neighborhood of 2,500 to 3,000 calls a year.
Okay.
But I believe with the presentation, the fire chief had stated that they were going to, I don't want to use improper terminology, but make sure that it was only the most serious calls, that a lot of the calls that got dispatched to ALS, that those paramedics were called back because they weren't serious enough that they required that additional paramedic to be on site. So there were a lot of calls. I don't remember the exact percentage, but I think that the chief is working with the level of calls, that are going to be dispatched that will then cut that down. But I mean, 2,500 to 3,000 calls does sound like a lot, but it's, 70, 60 a week. But when you're operating 24/7 with 7 days, it's 8 calls a day, and over 24 hours, it's about 1 call every 3 hours on average. So, but there is some additional work that's going to be involved, and that's what this recognizes.
Are we still looking to hire additional dispatchers?
We are advertising for a part-time dispatcher currently that I'm aware of.
Okay. Would this be included in that
Yes.
if we approve this?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep, the part-time would be on a prorated share based on the regularly scheduled hours as compared to 40. There also is with this is that we have talked about if the program sunsets, this does address that the MOU is only in effect while we are dispatching the program.
Okay, so if the service goes.
If the
south,
service
this
goes,
This is out.
that is correct. It's also
It's no longer
recognized as
applied.
part of that as well.
And how many towns are signed up for this now?
Well, there were 15 towns originally. We know of one that is not going to participate, but we also have signed up at least 3 others that will be starting to participate. So that means we're up to at least 17.
All right, and it's still stationed here and in Brentwood, right?
That is correct.
And our dispatch our technology is up to date to be able to communicate with all those other towns and everything else, right?
As far as I know, yes, it is. It's
Okay.
And this all goes live on,
March 21st at 3 p.m.
not that far away.
No, it is not.
Comes pretty quick.
But we've been successful in hiring paramedics and, vehicles, equipment and the like. So they will be
So the
ready.
paramedics are all hired
Yes,
and everything's all set up, and obviously want to stress again that it's all comes out of the donations that have come in.
yes, that's correct.
So when we start on March 21st, that it ends March 21st for Exeter as well? Yeah,
Yes.
just making sure. I didn't know if there was like a March 1st or something, just so it ends the same
So I
day in
guess-
Exeter and then we pick it up from there.
No, I know there is a little bit of confusion with March 1st because I think Trinity Pride Star has basically vacated the region so that there is, all the other towns who used to, like similar to us, who had Trinity as their ambulance carrier, that as of March 1st, they no longer. But my understanding is the towns and everyone is prepared for that and has
All right.
been able to do that.
And the
Take care of it.
contracts with the towns are like a yearly contract, right?
That's correct.
So will it be March 21st to March 21st? Is that how it's going to
I
work?
think the first one's 10 months, March until December 31st, and then it will be on a yearly basis.
Okay. Makes it sense then, because
Well,
Budget for budgeting.
budgeting and the things of that nature, yes.
all right. Questions?
Is this a motion and a vote, or is this a general?
Motion would be great.
Make a motion to approve the MOU between the Plastow Police Association, Teamsters Local 633, and the Town of Plastow for the paramedic intercept stipend for a dispatch.
I'll second that.
Second. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So 500.
Thank you.
Right. And we have some approval of non-public minutes.
Thank you.
Mr. Beckett, someone just wants to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to accept the non-public minutes from February 24th, 2025, and to continue to keep them sealed.
Second.
Second by Darrell. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I'll abstain.
Abstained by Jay, so 401. Thank you. And next up, we will approve the consent agenda. Pretty light today. What we have is the accounts payable manifest for the week of March 6th. Got right here. And the BOS draft minutes of February 24th, 2024. Someone wants to make a motion to accept?
I just saw there's one correction. I forget what page it was on. Daryl Retain was on there. I didn't know if that was.
She doesn't remember who I am half the time, so I'm grateful she's that close.
He's going incognito now.
Written page did I see it on?
Halfway down, second page, Selectmen
Yeah, there it is right
retain.
there.
Yeah, there
Underneath
it
the
is.
assessing services.
Yeah.
Second paragraph.
Yeah, Selectmen Britain states.
Yeah, I'll
Take
fix
that to
that.
Britain. Just want him to go out with a bang. Thank you.
All right, so did we get a motion on that? Somebody want to make a motion?
I make the motion.
Second.
Second by Jay. All those in favor with the change?
Aye.
Aye. So 5-0. And Selectmen's reports. Jay, you got anything?
Just a couple things. First, I'd like to thank Daryl Britton for his many years of service.
My
Again,
pleasure.
thank you for stepping in this past year when we had an opening. So really appreciate you and all you've done for the town. So thank you very much. At the last track meeting, we had a presentation from a company called Black Forest Compost. It was pretty informative and it was very interesting. They're mainly in Massachusetts. They're starting to move up into New Hampshire. They talked a lot about that. There's a lot of states where they're putting laws into effect where, once landfills close, they're not opening new ones. And I think New Hampshire has a new law that's similar to that now, that's going into effect. But one of the things they talked about, they had different levels of this program, but one of the things that caught my interest was they had the possibility of dropping off compost barrels at a central location where people that were interested in composting could drop off their compost. But they also had different, people could subscribe to them as well. They wouldn't come through the town. They could subscribe to a monthly pickup of these compost barrels. They'd get their own little barrel. They put their compost in it. They put it out at the edge of the street, and they come out once a week. I just thought it was something interesting that maybe we could look at as a town. I'm not saying we get into the composting service, but maybe have an area where people that are interested in doing that could drop it off. And I think the money they were quoting is pretty short money, like $2,000 to $3,000 a year. And they'd pick up these barrels every week and empty them. So I don't know, it might help us reduce our waste, given the fact that right now our per ton for trash is $91, and I don't see that going down with a new trash contract. So, and also our recycling rate is extremely low. It's $25 per ton, and I don't see that ever getting that amount again when we recycle. So if there are ways that we can try to reduce our trash, that's one way we can impact the budget. So
Yeah, because it really could reduce the tonnage quite a bit for the pickup if you really think about the waste that you have that goes into your.
See, you guys aren't old enough, but this is just a throwback to the 50s and 60s. We had swill buckets in the back of the house.
No,
and the pig farmers would come by and pick up the
I'll tell you
bucket.
what, Daryl, I remember those. And when you had those July and August days, you'd have the maggots and everything
Oh,
all
yeah.
around them. That's the truth.
We're
You
going
know,
for the next stage and going with flies, but
no, but you did. That's what you had there. And
Yeah.
I guess it's kind of, but it is a way if the town did it. Everyone wants to figure out a way to reduce
Right.
costs in the town. This is a way that you could do it.
Right.
Yeah.
Between that and, the recycling, you recycle everything, make sure it doesn't get put in the regular rubbish. Because it's,
Jonathan, do you want to take it for the pigs?
No.
Oh, okay.
I do my own composting on the farm.
Okay.
But no,
So the committee just recommended that I bring it to the selectmen to see if they'd want them to come in at a future meeting, and if
I
you
think it's a
guys,
great idea.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think it's great.
Absolutely. We
I
can
will,
lower our tonnage and
Yeah.
do something effective with that waste matter.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
so I will reach out to them and set it up on a future agenda. So
yeah, come before the selectmen. It was very informative.
Yeah, it was.
I agree.
I have the presentation. I'll email it out to everyone as
Thank
well.
you.
So. I think there is a meeting next Monday with Republic
That's correct.
to talk to them about a possible, what the next step is, because we could possibly renew. But I don't want to be the only selectman there, so I was just offering if anyone else would like to be there.
What time is that again?
What time is that and date?
It's next Monday,
It's
10
next
a.m.
Monday at 10.
Yeah. And one of the questions I had is, maybe this is for Greg, but now that we have moved the building department out of the Norm Major building on Elm Street, are there any ideas on what we're utilizing that space for at this point?
Well, I know that the rec director has moved her office into the former conference room, which is up front. So it's
Yeah.
more centrally located for people that come in. And also it has opened up the back for other programs, other usage. The idea being also that the library is extremely difficult and full to
Mhm.
get meeting space with. So it's another place that we are able to rent and utilize as space.
Okay.
And I don't, Beth, was any insight on the space utilization
Well,
today?
I mean, it is a good space, and Jen is very excited to be able to have programs there versus filling her car up with all kinds of stuff and bring it to the library or bring it to the big area. Or,
Right.
And I know in this next month, looking at the calendar, she has quite a few things on there. There's like chair yoga, there's regular yoga. I think she's got some other crafts and things for the seniors.
Yes.
She's
they can
opening
do
it up.
all
There's gonna be
right
like
there.
bingo like every couple of weeks there for the seniors.
Excellent. So we're really utilizing the building space in that.
Yeah,
Are
she's
we-
trying to expand it.
Are we utilizing the second floor at all?
Maintenance.
That's what building maintenance is.
Where
Our
is?
Building maintenance is up there.
building maintenance is up there, right,
On the second floor.
on the second floor. So
Good. It's a good resource for our community and a good place where groups can hold a meeting, right?
that's
If they need
correct.
to. Good.
Yeah, I know. I'm looking to donate a refrigerator there because she wanted to make sure that
You have to help with rentals.
help with
things like
rentals
that.
and
Right.
people's coffees and.
Yeah, and there's a sink there too, I believe, as well now.
Excellent.
Yeah, so it's
Glad to see we're utilizing the space.
absolutely.
All right. And one last request. I think I asked this at voting usually, those street signs, can we get one of those up maybe on the northbound side of Main Street? For like when people are coming home in the afternoon to, say caution ahead, voting, something like that. Maybe put it in front of the Verizon building, which is closer to Mayray. But I know Danny puts one up outside of the highway garage, so.
I'll speak to him in the morning.
All right. Excellent. Thank you. Oh, yeah, I'm all set. I thought thank you was,
No, you had the.
oh,
floor.
no, I'm good. Sorry I wasn't here the last 2 weeks, 2 meetings, so.
No problem, Daryl. And Daryl, before that, thank you again
My pleasure.
for stepping in. How many years total?
Total off and on, it's total off and on for working for the town in some capacity or another now. It's been a little over 50 years.
And how many different hats have you had in that time?
Every hat. I've been building inspector, plumbing inspector. I've been on the ZBA, the planning board, the budget committee, the board of selectmen, recreation. You know, it's stuff I'm sure I've forgotten by now.
No, but thank you. It's much appreciated.
You're welcome. It's something that's in you that wants to serve. But I've gotten to the age where I don't want to serve.
You want to be served.
Yeah. On Monday nights, I want to be home for the football game.
And miss all of this?
You know something? I do miss it. And, you know, I won't run for selectman again because I just don't want to do that. But there'll be other things that probably take a lot less time that I may want to get involved with. So who knows? Right now, I need a little bit of time off.
Well deserved.
Thank you.
Liz?
Thank you for stepping up. Budget committee, nothing. Energy committee, there'll be no meeting. Conservation committee, no meeting. Elder affairs will meet I'm gonna do my math right, the 18th of March, I think, at 10 a.m. And I did attend the ballot clerk meeting where Bob explained all the changes. So it was good to hear and see the people who were helping out this time, and thank you to all of them.
Yeah, no, it's a lot. They do a lot.
They do.
John?
Well, I had no meetings between last and this, but I did have a town individual come up to me and give a donation to the Historical Society. Thought it was awful nice. Wasn't solicited. It was just, he had done it a couple of years ago and said, you know what, I want to get caught up on my donation. And just to remind the town that it is a 501c, it is an independent, and it can always use a little bit more money. So it was very nice of that individual. I won't mention any names, but, and thank you, Daryl, as always, for all you do.
I'll keep in touch at the fishing game.
Absolutely.
All right, I didn't have any meetings last week. I was pretty much out of town most of the week. I was traveling for most of the week for work. One thing we should probably do is, seeing as this is our last meeting before the election, is to set up the election schedule. We know John won't be around. I'll plan on being there all day just to help out inside and whatever John might need, but he won't be able to come in and out. So
I'll be there all day.
They're usually good till what, about 3, 4 o'clock, somewhere around
I
there?
start to fade, but I can usually squeeze another couple of 3 hours out.
Well, we have town reports this year to hand
Yeah.
out.
That kicks the hell out of me.
And I know, Jay, you were talking in the afternoon?
Yeah, I'll probably be there in the morning for a little bit and then leave and come back in the afternoon and then stay till the end.
Yeah. And that's not a bad idea, too, if you have to take a break, right? Plan some time to kind of get out and,
I should be there all day.
okay.
I just took the day.
But if there's
I might have to take the dog out.
yeah. Well, that's understandable. I mean, it's a full day.
Yeah. So, yeah, Chuck might be working.
Okay. But I mean, if there's a point during the day, because I don't know how late we'll be there that night, right? I'm glad the polls close at 7. It's, you know.
Please help us count.
Yes, absolutely. There's a lot.
Kind of like it being an election year for me. I don't have to count all those ballots.
Right. Oh, and the big thing, the day after the election here at Town Hall on that Wednesday, I believe, is the Old Home Day meeting.
That's true.
So anybody interested, 6:30 on that night, you know, please meet us here at Town Hall. And, you know, be glad to have volunteers come in, see what it's about, if nothing else. We can always use volunteers. And did you have anything for us, Craig?
Just non-public.
Non-public, all right. So that was the thing. We do have a non-public then.
We do have non-public.
All right. So I guess that will be it for our meeting here. So we need a motion to go into non-public, right?
Make a motion, we go into non-public under
Legal.
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 Second.
Mr. Coy,
Yes.
Mr. Gifford,
Yes.
Mr. Roche,
Yes.
Ms. Costa,
Yes.
Mr. Britton.
Yes.
All right, thank you. Have a good evening, and let me just run through the list of events quick. I forgot to do that. Candidates Night at the libraries tomorrow, March 4th at 6 PM. Don't forget about the town elections next Tuesday. We won't be here next week to remind you. That's March 11th at the Fishing Game between 7 and 7. And there are some rec events coming up on March 11th. There's a roller skating party. But have a good week and hope to see you at the polls. Thank you. Bye.
Good night.